picks there. You guys going for big, heavy fighters, Nocturne, Rengar kind of back in the pool. We've seen Rengar twice now. I want to start with that because he's a champion. How do you feel about jungle Rengar right now?
I've seen a lot of jungle Rengar lately, especially because they got unbanned from the LCS. Now, I think the champion is something that's very unique because a lot of people say, oh, he's really good. Others say he's really bad. You have to be very practiced on the champion. Like, if we're not good at the champion, you pretty much have to always build him AD first of all, because if you go tank, you're worthless. And to build him AD and pull him off successfully, you have to be almost a master at the champion. So I feel like Dominate played a very good Rengar. All the Rengars we've practiced against have been really bad. And then me playing Rengar, it's so-so. I mean, I'm getting there. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with him, but not to a great level. And I just think the champion is just like a Nocturne. It's pretty much a different Nocturne.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of which, there was a bit of a gank trade you guys had. One time the Rengar ganked the top lane. You got a double kill down at the bottom lane. You actually pull this up on the screen as a clip because Crumbs kind of walk me through what you were thinking in the game here as the top lane gank happened and then the bottom lane gank, which we'll see right afterwards.
I mean, we knew at this point that Rengar Jax is just way stronger in the 2v2 top. And honestly, no matter how far behind Lulu falls, she's still going to be useful. So I just let her do her thing. If she's dying, okay, I mean, at least she's going to have all her CC, while Jax really just needs all that damage. And then I know that Lucian does very well against Rengar, and we blew their summoners previously in another game. Yeah. So at this point, no summoners bot lane on the Caitlyn with a Thresh lane Lucian. Like, this is a free double kill. So their gank ended up not even getting a turret. They just got a kill. And then ours ended up getting a dragon and setting up for a turret. So it's just looking at the big picture as to what is going to get you more objectives.
Yeah. It was a really interesting gank to watch as an observer because it was literally you were just trading ganks brute force through the lane and you guys got a much better trade. But something that was interesting about those two junglers is there were 4 jungle bans in that game. Do you kind of want to walk me through the process both teams are going through there?
I think they just banned Lee Sin. I'm really comfortable on Lee Sin. And then they banned Jarvan because I think they probably thought Jarvan would be like my main champion. If Evelyn was out, Elise is out, and then Kha'Zix at the rework, right? So he's not that strong as a jungler anymore. He's more of a laner. He's not too strong early game, and evolving his ulti doesn't give you any good abilities that you want from a jungler. So Kha'Zix is kind of falling off as a jungler itself, so there's not really that many top-tier junglers. So perhaps their thought process was obviously, just ban all the junglers, take Rengar, and then, I mean, there is still plenty left. There's still Rengar, Nocturne, Vi. Hell, you could even do a Mumu, Rammus, who knows?
Do you think we're going to see more tank junglers come out, or is it still like go for the 3 if you can and then just kind of fall back if you need to?
I mean, I think we'll only see those champions if all the other junglers are out, honestly. Like, you're going to see Elise and Lee Sin and all those, all as much as you can, just because they're so good. If they're banned, you have to adapt and do something else.
Okay, so then taking a step back, I know last time you guys played Curse, you lost, and right before you'd said it was going to be an easy match. Was there some extra effort making sure you didn't make that same mistake again for this game?
We were confident going into the game, but we did get a little bit taken back because the game plan didn't unfold starting from the level 1 as to how we thought it would. So we kind of did a little bit of staggering as to deciding what we were going to do around the 1 minute and 50 mark when the buff spawned. So aside from that, though, we didn't really expect to have a standard lane. So it just ended up that on the fly, they decided to just go to camp top, we camp bottom, and that's how the game turned out.
Do you want to talk a little bit more in depth about the thing that threw you off at 1 minute 50 seconds in this game?
Well, usually right now what you see with lane swaps is people pretty much invade the side that the opponents are invading, right? So what happened was they chose to back their bot lane recall. They wanted standard lanes, so they just recalled. We're like, oh, okay, they wanted standard lane, so I guess that threw us off.
All right. And then, like you said, it was actually a pretty close game. We have another clip of Kiwi Kid kind of baiting out the fight that ended up winning you guys the game. I want you to walk me through what your team was thinking and why this fight turned around the way it did.
I mean, at this point, we're looking for deep wars to try to make plays. We're really struggling to get something going because I'm Nocturne. I want to get as many deep wars as possible to want to stay farming. So he falls for the Rengar, goes right in, and then they channel so much for him. And right here, we have a ward. Kayle puts herself way out of position. So at this point, I thought she would just flash over and get out of that as soon as possible, but she doesn't do it quickly enough because Fear goes in, and as soon as that happens, they got chunked way too hard from the Ziggs ulti while trying to go on Thresh, basically. And then, since they were on that left side, we managed to push in because we had a wave coming in, and at this point, Cutie just goes in and gets a crazy double kill, and from this point over, that's game.
Yeah, it was just this crazy series of almost unfortunate events for Curse because it had seemed like a very close game up until that point, as Amakudipai gets a little crazy down at the end there. Is that kind of a confidence thing for you guys that you're able to turn such a huge advantage off of just a single catch, or is that something you guys would have always done?
I mean, not really. You just have to see the situation. It just so happened to be that there's a wave right there. They zoned themselves off from the wave, and we got a pick, and we have the good ability to poke them off a turret because they have very weak wave clear. If Kale's dead, it's just Caitlyn Q to clear wave. That's barely anything. So we'll be able to take a turret off. And honestly, that engage right there is reminiscent of the one that I did in their blue side. When they focused on Thresh, I went in on the Braum and ended up dying for it. So since mine was earlier, I just ended up dying and we didn't get blue buff, but theirs was much later and when we were grouped already and we were able to take much more off that.
That worked really well. And you guys went for Baron, and actually I want to kind of ask you about it was a really brief Baron fight, but basically it seemed like you guys pulled off the exact correct members. You had a Kiwi kid like flay back the Rengar to block the steal attempt. Like, how is the coordination when you're like, okay, they're coming down to try to steal? Like, does everyone know their individual job? Does someone call out like, you peel, you guys deal damage? Because that was really flawless.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows what they have to do, right? If you're Thresh, you're not going to be hitting Baron for damage. So everyone knows their job. I mean, at that point, we were doing Baron, and then I was like, okay, you need to zone off Rengar. Does he have flash? And then QB's like, don't worry, man, I got this. I'm a god at this. Like, okay. So they just zoned them off, and then we just got a free Baron.
Okay.
Yeah, another successful Baron. And final question, actually, for you, Crumbs. You guys have Cloud9 tomorrow, which in the past has been the juggernaut of the North American LCS, but now are sitting at 5-4. Does that change your approach to that game? How do you think Cloud9 is going to be doing?
I mean, you can't take Cloud9 lightly, obviously, but they've been looking pretty shaky, especially with the game they had today against TSM. That's a game that honestly looked like Cloud9 not only outdrafted them, but they should have won that game, and they ended up doing a couple of throws here and there. But I think obviously they always turn up to play every time. They do really well, so we won't take them lightly. But I think it should be a good game for us. I think we're gonna win.
All right.
All right, well, good luck to you. You guys have held on to first place so far. That's awesome. Nice to see you guys doing well, and we'll see you again tomorrow. We got to take a quick break before we get to our next game, which is CLG versus Complexity. We'll be right back after this.